We Speak is a social enterprise, and it supports students from underrepresented backgrounds to develop confidence, to be able to work in their industry of choice. So obviously in our case, it's media. And the students and mentors have worked so hard over the last few, over the week, the 6 weeks of the programme to get to this point. And so this ceremony is to acknowledge and celebrate this. So I'm going to hand over to Alistair now to just run through the running order for the next hour.
Thanks, Rita. Hi, everyone. I'm Alistair. Yes, I'll just quickly get and run through the agenda. So firstly, I'm delighted to say that we have Toby, our global CEO, with us to hopefully inspire you into choosing media as your career choice. And then we'll hand over to Laura North, CEO, who you should all know, and CEO of We Speak. She'll briefly talk before introducing kind of 3 of our recent students to do their own presentations, which I'm particularly excited about. We'll then hand over to Damian and Paloma, who are 2 of the Wavemaker mentors, and they'll briefly kind of talk about their experiences and how rewarding it's been for them. We'll then have our graduation naming ceremony, and Rita will kind of talk more about that a little later. And then finally, last but not least, we have Kemi, our talent development partner, who will provide an overview of our apprenticeship scheme, which hopefully as many of you as possible will be keen to apply for. So firstly, over to you, Toby. Thank you.
Thanks, Alistair. Thanks, Rita. And basically, thanks to you guys for leading this. I think coordinators does you a huge disservice. Leaders and inspiration, I would think. And also thanks, Laura, for you. There you are. Sorry, I'm just trying to find everyone on the screen for driving this initiative. I think it's awesome. So really appreciate your support and guidance throughout the process. But more importantly, thank you to everyone who's been part of the programme, because without you, there would be no programme. So I want to give you a huge round of applause. This is your graduation, I believe. So that's awesome. Thank you all for taking part. Look, you've got a virtual clap for Camilla. See, I'm old school. I just do an actual clap. So Rita gave me a very good brief, which is very kind, but I actually went online and looked on the website, and I was delighted to see our logo alongside such amazing brands as Google and GE. So I mean, I think just move us to the first one, Laura, and then we can have Google coming after us. That'd be nice. But one of the things that I noticed were the kind of 4 areas of support or output that you all hopefully get from the program. So one was around building essential communication skills. One was around personalised advice from top employees, and I suppose that includes Wavemaker, although it feels slightly uncomfortable, but maybe we are. And then advice you can get from job interviews, and then obviously your certificate of achievement. So I was thinking about how I would look at those through the lens of what it means to me, or the advice I would maybe give you. So when I think about building essential communications skills, and I think they all kind of blend into one, I think very much around asking really, really great questions. At Wavemaker, we talk about how we positively provoke growth for our clients and for our people. So if you were to work here, how would we provoke growth for you? And I think one of the things some people can misunderstand is that, provocation can be the person that's loudest in the room. That's probably provocation. I don't necessarily think it's always positive provocation. I always think about our Indian colleagues who ask really pointy questions which kind of cut the room to silence. And that for me is a real art. If you can communicate and if you can build that capability through questioning, I think you'll go an incredibly long way. So that's the first thing I say. In terms of advice from top employees, my personal point of view is I would always choose someone with great energy, charisma over capability, particularly when it comes to, but not exclusively, your kind of experience level, i.e. people who haven't got any experience. That's absolutely critical to me. But even now, when I hire, for my global leadership team, I always choose people that have great energy and great charisma, and people that I like. You know, I spend a lot of time, probably more than I should, at the office. So if I'm gonna have a bunch of people around me, I want those people to be people that I like and I get on well with. And you know what, we're all good at certain things and we can always plug gaps. So it's about building that kind of dynamic, and that energy, I think, is absolutely critical. The interview process, feedback on job interviews. I have been to many, I have failed many, and I think the feedback that you get, don't ignore it. It's very easy. Oh, they didn't get me, they didn't understand me, they didn't like me. That may in some instances be the case and kind of more fool them, but I hope what you get from job interviews as much, you probably more beneficial is the ones you don't get, because ones you don't get you can learn from. I think, you know, when I was younger and I went for job interviews, you probably go for 2 or 3 that you probably didn't want before you'd kind of go for the 3 or 4 that you maybe really did want. So you get into the rhythm of an interview process. So I think that's really important. So, you know, people talk about feedback, it's a gift. It's kind of become a bit hackneyed and a bit of a cliche, really, because you can, that it's a euphemism for I'm going to be really rude to you now, but it's all a gift because it's feedback. So I'm not talking about that kind of feedback, but genuine feedback where people do care and are kind in terms of the guidance that they're giving you moving forward, I think is something you should really embrace. But I don't think you should change yourself. I think you should be true to yourself. And it's about how you evolve as an individual without changing who you are. So I think that's super important. And then receiving the certificate. Wow, great, congratulations, that's awesome. So I think that's congratulations to you all. Look, when I think about what you're going to do now, and I don't know if you've been put off from a job in media for life. Maybe you have, I hope not. Hopefully you're inspired and enthused and motivated, and maybe some of you will get on to the apprentice program that we have, and I really hope you do. And Kemi, I don't know if you're on the call somewhere. She leads it, so yes. Please reach out to her. But when I think about you and your careers, I often think, and I'm old, right? So the world has changed. I know that. I've got a 17 and a 15-year-old daughters, and immediate gratification is certainly something that is at the heart of most things that they want. But I would say my one piece of advice is find your person. Find your person in a company that's going to be your mentor, that's going to be your friend, that's going to be your inspiration, that's going to be your knowledge bank that you can learn from and be inspired by. And I think when I look back on my career, there have been certain times when I've actually turned down jobs. I can remember one of them at Dentsu, and it was for more money, and it was a bigger job, but the distance between me and the person that I work most closely with had been stretched. So that access to knowledge, that access to inspiration would have been removed. So it was probably a 2 or 3 year short-term loss of salary, but I would say catapulted me longer term into kind of 2 or 3 years worth. Sorry. Catapulted me further ahead. So find who your person is, learn from them, be inspired by them. And I really believe that people leave people, they don't leave companies. So the more you can find that person to really support and support you as an individual within your next organization, the better. So remember, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. And learn from that. I don't know if I've got anything else really to say. I'm happy to take any questions. They're just some of the kind of top line thoughts that I had. Rita, Alistair, I don't know if that kind of covers things or not. If not, then I'm sorry. I can
No,
I can
that's
do
wonderful.
more.
I mean, if anybody does have any questions, they can put it into the chat. I can't see anything yet, but perhaps over the hours people might ask. But thank you so much for that. I mean, I think that was really inspirational, and I think we've all taken something away from that, actually. So I'm hoping that the students have found that quite useful. Definitely the whole thing around interviewing, and certainly for me, it's interesting that you were talking about the fact that, you know, you do a few interviews to get warmed up and then get into the rhythm of it. That's definitely something that I found I have to do.
You don't need to worry about that, Rita. You shouldn't be doing any interviews. You should be changed to your desk.
Right, thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Toby.
Thanks for the opportunity, and well done again, everyone. I'll go on silent.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to Laura now.
Thank you so much, Rita, and thank you, Toby. That was so fantastic to hear from you, and I couldn't agree more with that thing about being yourself and not, you know, how you can evolve and not change yourself as well. I think that's really, really key, and it's so important to the process that we're doing with We Speak. So, hello, everybody. You all know me, but I'll introduce myself again. My name is Laura North, and I'm the founder and CEO of We Speak. I'm just really excited to be here to celebrate the graduation of our last 3 sets of students from our last 3 programs of Wavemaker, and it's really lovely to see you all here today. So Wavemaker mentors are really at the centre of the transformation of our students' confidence. I just want to say before I introduce the students, they have been so consistently fantastic working with the students. They are friendly, enthusiastic, and so passionate about helping our students improve their employability opportunities and their speaking confidence and how they feel overall. And we've worked with over 30 mentors now, and it's just the same with nearly everybody we work with. And even when we were doing some preparation for the talks for today, I emailed out to ask for some help, and I had responses back from 7 or 8 mentors straight away just to come and help people prepare. So I want to say thank you to all the mentors, and also to the amazing team behind the scenes of Rita, Alistair, Camilla, and everything that you've done to help us run these programs. So I'm joined today by We Speak graduates. Olivia, she is just going to year 13 at City and Islington Sixth Form College. She took part in the programme last year, and yeah, so over to you, Olivia.
Hello everyone, my name is Livia, as Laura just introduced me, and today I'm going to be talking about how the We Speak program helped me. My journey is actually quite similar to Tipsia, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but I just finished year 12, and before college it was always like very hard for me to speak in front of an audience. I used to get very nervous because it is hard enough for me to speak in front of people in my first language, which is Portuguese. So having to speak in English got me very like anxious, because it can be very stressful to talk in front of an audience, because you always think you can't make mistakes, so it was pretty hard. However, when I started the We Speak program, it helped me to develop my communication skills, as we had amazing facilitators from Wavemaker, and the program always had like a very warm atmosphere, so that really helped me. All the facilitators, they were always smiling, they were kind people, and that made me feel more comfortable with everything. And we also had like little by little bigger audience in the program. So we'd start with like you and the mentor in one task, and then by the end of the program we finished with like half of the people taking part as the audience. So that helped me a little more. I am currently taking part in this filmmaking project where we have in school, where we have like different teams for camera teams, sound teams, and I am taking part in the set design team. At the beginning, the team was a bit messy, so I decided to kind of take the lead and start to tell people what they could do to improve, or what they could do to improve our work as a team and be a bit more organized. And I can say that the program and the mentors, they had an impact on how, on not only me feeling more confident about speaking in front of an audience, but also to work with people and lead them. And those are skills that I would take for my future career. So I'm planning on doing editing and post-production, and that's one thing that is always teamwork. So I'm really thankful for all the mentors, and I just talked to you about how the program helped me in this journey of not having much confidence to talk in front of people, and then taking part with kind mentors, and then finally being able to lead the team. Thank you for listening.
Oh, again, I wish we could do lots of clapping. Livia, so Livia, that was fabulous. Thank you so much. It's really lovely to hear from you. And I love the fact that you've been able to take these skills and confidence to actually lead a team and to do something that's taking you forward in the career that you want to do as well. And I just wondered actually, because Becky was working with you on your talk yesterday. And Becky, if you're still here, it'd be great just to hear a comment from you about your observations about Livia's progress, because you worked with her right at the beginning as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So we were chatting about this yesterday, and I promised I wouldn't pull faces, which I managed to keep that promise whilst Livia was talking. But I think, as we can probably all agree, these students have gone from barely speaking and, you know, at the kind of level of a mouse to giving these presentations in front of 25 people or more. And it's really incredible to see that progress and kind of how it's shaped across the time, going from talking about, as mentioned, elephants and all these crazy topics. And I think I learned a lot about Vampire Diaries one week, which I've actually still not watched an episode of, but I will. But it's been, incredible to see the progress from start to finish, and especially over kind of quite a short space of time as well. And I think especially learning how somebody can be helped from not wanting to speak at all in front of people, but then going on to leading projects is just incredible, because that's one of the most difficult things, is trying to tell others what to do and actually have them listen to you and do what you say. So really, really amazing work.
Thank you so much, Becky, and thank you for helping Livia prepare yesterday as well. That was great. Excellent. Thank you. So finally, I'm going to introduce you to Ruth, and Ruth was one of our first students to work with us on the Wavemaker programme with We Speak. She took part during the pandemic. Well, are we still in the pandemic? We probably are, but right at the start of the pandemic. And she was working with a mentor called Damian. And I know that she impressed everybody on that programme, and she's now doing an apprenticeship at the British Fashion Council. So Ruth, I'm going to hand over to you now.
Hi everyone, it's nice to see some familiar faces. But yeah, I was doing the We Speak workshop and the WPP Next Gen internship during the pandemic. So I was one of the first cohort to do it. And I just kind of want to speak a little bit more about my experience. I think kind of different to Livia and Thipsa, I'm sorry if I didn't say it correctly. I've kind of been able to utilize my skills a bit more within the industry. I think I finished college a year ago, so I've been doing my apprenticeship for a year. So I've really been able to see these skills that I've gained within the kind of professional atmosphere. So I think before the internship, I was very nervous about speaking within a professional capacity. I didn't know how to express myself, and kind of entering professional environments was always something that really I felt fearful of. But I was always really eager to enter the industry. I knew that I wanted to go into marketing and media, but I wasn't sure where specifically I would fit within the industry. It was always very vast, and I found it quite daunting. And this was especially the case within the pandemic, when everything was changing and the world felt large and new, and there was a lot of unknowns. But after completing the WPP Next Gen internship, as well as the workshops with We Speak and my mentor, I was able to develop so many skills that I was then able to take into the workplace as an apprentice. So I was able to develop my confidence speaking in a professional capacity, my communication skills. I was writing emails, I was communicating with my mentor, Sebastian, and I was speaking with different people across the world. Our internship was global, so I was able to communicate with lots of different types of people, which is then something that I was able to take into my apprenticeship role. I think another key skill that I gained was industry awareness. We had like dedicated workshops covering key segments of the industry. So I think we had like a PR workshop with Hill & Knowlton Strategies. We learned about emerging technology, platforms, even I think people. We had a talk on people and how WPP hires different people and how they really value those people. Sorry, I set a timer so I wouldn't go over time. But just quickly rounding up, my next steps, and I think I've learned so much and I'm still using the skills that I've gained from the internship practically in my role now. I'm kind of rounding up my apprenticeship now, so I'm finishing my digital marketing course in August. So I'm excited to see the next steps and excited to carry on using these skills within the industry. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ruth. And it's so nice to see you. You know, you spoke at this graduation ceremony 2 years ago, I think it was now. And just to see how far you've gone, and you know, you're just finishing your qualification, your apprenticeship. So it's just really interesting to see how you're using the skills that you learnt then actually in your career. So thank you so much. And I just want to say well done to all three of you, because you know how you start off when you first joined the programme. You know, you were like me, you know, you felt anxious about speaking in front of people, and now look at you, you know, you've done such wonderful talks. So thank you so much, and thank you again to Wavemaker and the mentors for seeing, you know, you can see this transformation in front of you. So thank you so much, and over to you, Alistair.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow, that was inspiring. Ruth, the BC, amazing. It's an amazing thing that you guys were ever nervous once upon a time. But actually, I suppose this program is not actually all about you guys, because actually, as we go through our careers, every moment is a learning and growth moment. And actually, the mentors get a huge amount out of this program, just as you guys do. So it's great that I mean, Damian's obviously loves it. He's done 3 of these, and then it shows how much he gets out of it. So is it 4 even? So going to hand over to Damian and Paloma, who are going to kind of share some of their kind of views on their experiences of working with all you wonderful people.
Thank you, Alistair. Am I up first or Paloma?
You can
go
go,
for it.
Damian.
Yeah, so yes, Damian, yes. You are,
Thank you,
yes.
Alistair. Oh God, this is so professional, knocking my phone over as well. So I won't speak for long, and I'm afraid I'm going to break the We Speak rules, and I'm not going to make 3 clear points with a summary at the end. So I'm sorry about that. And I've got to start by saying, I mean, what amazing presentations from the 3 of you, Duvoisin, Livia, and Ruth. I mean, really, you know, I remember working, you know, both with Duvoisin and with Livia, and seeing the kind of, other people have used the word transformation. It's amazing, really. And I'm sure you were nervous. Of course you were nervous before you came on screen and presented today. But you know, the important thing I think about We Speak is that, yes, you're always going to feel those nerves and that anxiety, but it gives you the confidence to know that in spite of that anxiety, you can get up there and tell people who you are and what you think and why they should listen to you. And so that to me goes right to the heart of it, of why I love this program and why I'm always so happy to be involved. I mean, my regular job is I'm a consumer researcher, and I spend a lot of time talking to people to find out what they think about things. And after doing this for many, many years now, if I've learned one thing, it's that literally everyone has something to say that is worth listening to. But the challenge that we all face is finding a way to let others know what you think, what you believe, what you want to change in the world, and importantly, how you're going to change it. Because I think you've got to remember that what you think and believe matters, not just to you, but to the world. And what I think is so wonderful about this program, about We Speak, is that it helps you to find your voice and to present yourself to the people who should be paying attention to you. And I love being a mentor on the We Speak program. I really do. And the reason that I, to Alistair's point, keep coming back again and again is because it is so inspirational listening to you students presenting and seeing your confidence and abilities grow over the course of those short weeks, because it's not long, and the improvement you make over that period is incredible. Every week, I'm so impressed by listening to you present your thoughts, your opinions, and yourselves, hearing about what matters to you and the marks that you want to make on the world. I think of all the things that I've seen presented in the discussions that you've had. The most recent cohort, one of you gave a presentation. I don't know if you're on this call right now, but one of you gave a presentation on creating content for social media. And I would happily have seen that presented to any one of our clients. It was absolutely brilliant. I sat there enthralled and learnt a lot in the space of about 5 minutes. It was fantastic. And I think of all the other discussions, David, you're talking about telekinesis. I remember a couple of presentations about teleportation, which were fascinating, and Greek mythology and its lessons for the modern world. There was an amazing presentation about the value of neurodiversity in the world and in the workplace, and the thin line between lunacy and genius. All of you have something interesting to say, and finding a way to say that with confidence is so important. And so each week I would hang up the call and think, you know what? This makes me sound so old, but the world is in safe hands with these young people. It was just fantastic. And so I think to sum up, I owe you a much bigger thank you than you owe any of the mentors. I think to all of you, you're a constant source of inspiration. I think the point that Alistair made is so true. Mentors get as much, if not more, out of this program than you do. So I thank you all so much for taking part. Really, you do an amazing job. So thank you.
So I guess that's me next. So hi everyone, my name is Paloma. I'm activation partner here at Wavemaker. And I had the pleasure to work with some of the students here during their program this year as a mentor. And it's extremely exciting to see you graduate in this kind of like closing ceremony today. I just want to say on behalf of all the other mentors that I feel extremely proud of you all for all the improvement you've done over the past months. I mean, the presentations today have been fantastic. And, you know, as everybody has been saying today, speaking in public is definitely not easy. I can relate to some of the comments of, I think it was Livia that said that, you know, when English is not your first language, is kind of hard. It's the same for me. I'm Spanish, so I can relate to that quite a lot. So, you know, you are not alone. And I also wanted to say, first of all, like a massive thank you to Laura and the whole We Speak team for all their work. I mean, in every week's survey, I have been saying that, but the preparation ahead of each session, all the activities we did together, their involvement, the passion, the motivation was absolutely wonderful. So thank you, Laura, and the whole team of We Speak. And, you know, when Rita approached me for me to say a few words today, I thought that it would be interesting to use the same format that the students use for the session, of like the 3 points of like key areas of learning that I will like you to take out of this course, or like what I think we all learn through the weeks that we work together. So I think the first point would be that practice makes perfect. So take every single opportunity you have, not only professionally, but also in your day-to-day to speak in public. Just jump to the pool with or without parachute. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're gonna be. You're gonna be when you need to do it. So just practice, practice, practice. The second one is that everyone is nervous when they speak in public, even if it's just a tiny bit. And I think, in my opinion, that becoming or being nervous means that you actually care about the outcome, and caring is something that is crucial, because that will allow you to be incentivized to prepare in advance, which I think is a key to success. So, you know, don't be stressed about being nervous, because it's absolutely human and it's actually good and works in your benefit in the end. And finally, I think a key thing for me will be, don't be scared to make mistakes. I think, you know, when I was talking to some of the students, they were like, you know, what if I, get stuck in the middle of the speech? How do I come out of that? I think making mistakes or getting stuck is how we learn, and by trial and error. So, you know, we've all been there at some point. So just take a pause, drink some water, breathe deep, continue, you know. life continues. So even if you make mistakes, it doesn't matter. What it matters is what you learn from those mistakes. So the more you do it, the more resources you will have to overcome these little obstacles that you're going to find on the way. So as a summary, practice, 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 be prepared in advance. Even if you're stressed, embrace that. That's the key to success. And embrace all these little mistakes that are going to happen along the way, because the important outcome is where you're not going to be learning out of that. So thank you all, and I wish you the best of luck, and you have a really bright future in front of you. So, well done.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Paloma. That was so lovely. So lovely from Damian as well. Really uplifting. I love doing this graduation ceremony. I always go away on a high for about 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so now we're going to move on to doing the naming and the clapping of sorts. I know it's really difficult because we're on Teams, but what we'll do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to name all the cohorts, so individually. So I'll do one cohort and then we're going to do clapping, whether we do that or we use the reactions, or we can unmute our mics and clap, whatever, just some sort of celebration. And then Alistair's going to do the next 2 cohorts. So let me share my screen. So hopefully everyone can see. I can't see anybody, unfortunately. Oh, no, now I can. Right. Okay, great. So the first cohort is spring 2021. I'm going to read this and my face will be on this other screen. So Ambia Begum, Ariella Lawler, Aisha Arya Khatun, Connie Hines, Eleanor Onyena, Esther Simwene, Florence Cargbo, Gabriela Metodieva, Mohammed Farjan Kamali. Let's give them all a clap. I'm going to pass over to Alistair.
So yes, huge congratulations to autumn 2021 graduates. So we have Adil Chowdhury, Arthur Perryman Maynard, Eliza Rami, Livia Ribola, Lulia Berhe, Malak Awine, Muna Ali, Shakina Kayembe, and Sienna Straker. Well done, everyone. And then finally, congratulations to all our spring 2022 graduates. We have Evian Charles, Hassan Mudassir, Lizzie Colley, Michael Mbehurike, Rachel Badili, Sophia Sensi, Thapisa Nantham, Victoria Nachayeva, Vikirthan Nanthan. Well done, everyone.
So obviously, if we could, we would do this in person, but it's always a bit challenging. Okay, so that brings us to the next part, which is for Kemi to give a little talk about the apprenticeship scheme.
Great, thank you, Rita. I have to say how wonderful and inspiring it is to just have been here and just watched the ceremony. I was a We Speak mentor back in 2021, so I feel a bit proud just to see how it's continued and the growth amongst the delegates. So yeah, just well done to everyone. Well done for your progress and your very, very bright futures. So yes, I'm Kemi. I am the talent development partner here at Wavemaker in the UK. And yeah, so we have a program called Splash. And the reason we call it Splash is because we really do believe when apprentices join our business, they make a splash. You make such a big impact. And so we really do celebrate apprentices as they join us, but also stay with us and grow within our business. So just a little bit more detail about the Splash program. How it works is Every year we take an intake in September, September time. This year it's August, late August, that the Splash group will be joining us. And you study either a digital marketing apprenticeship or a data analyst apprenticeship, depending on the area of the business that you'll sit in. And then you'll work within the teams, not only on different clients, such as Eurostar, TfL, or even government clients as well, or Netflix if you're lucky enough to join Play. But you'll also have a partnership with Multiverse, which will be your study partners. And you have a great balance of learning our industry, but also being able to work with some really brilliant minds here at Wavemaker as well. And when I think about who's right for media, I instantly think about the people that are courageous enough to take part in something like We Speak and really focusing on honing their skills, particularly things like presenting and just confidence in general. So if you're interested in it, know that you're on the right track. So it's an 18-month program, 15 to 18 months. And you join as a group of 10, so you have a network within Wavemaker that you can lean on throughout your time here, and hopefully you stay with us. We've got people in their 5th year after their apprenticeship scheme, so yes, there is lots of opportunities here, and I would love to welcome any of you to the program. We have an assessment day taking place on the 26th of July, which is taking place in Sea Containers in one of our central spaces. So if you do get your application in, which closes on the 20th of July, I look forward to meeting you on our assessment day and see where we go from there. So thank you guys so much. Again, congratulations on what is a wonderful ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi. Thanks so much. And yes, I really hope as many of you as possible kind of take that up. It's a great industry to work in, and Wavemaker is a fantastic place to work. So yeah, please do sign up and apply. So yeah, thank you, Kemi. Thank you everyone for contributing. I'm just kind of wrapping up now. It's been, I think, a really inspiring and enjoyable session. Congratulations, yeah, once again to all the students. As we've heard from our 3 great speakers, it feels like everyone's got loads and loads out of this program, and long may it continue. Laura will get your letter of recommendation out to you in I guess in the next few days or so. So you can use that at your will. But so yeah, it just leaves me to say on behalf of the Wavemaker team and the We Speak team, we wish you guys all the best in the future, regardless of what career choice you make. So thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
Well done, everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Well done.
Everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Good luck.
Bye.